Estamos.
Wall climb now. Wall climb now. Wall climb now.
Yep, they wall climb now, and it's just as cool as it sounds. Let's talk about Hazard.
Let's go on then.
All right, so now that the Hazard like playtest thing is over, we can talk about him. And I have to say, I think Hazard has to be the most fun new tank since Junker Queen. All right, because Junker Queen was fun when she first came out. All right, like, you know, then of course they kind of nerfed her down because she was like incredibly broken. Hazard is nowhere near like that. All right, Hazard is fun, but he's not like busted fun. All right, you know, and I know people might say some of his abilities or something are busted. Like, I think he's in a right, perfect place. I think he might need to be kind of tuned a little bit, but as far as like numbers and everything goes, he's perfect. All right, because like he's not nearly as broken as like Malga or like Junker Queen when they came out. All right, so of course, if you want to continue getting videos like this from me, like, comment, subscribe, and the bell button. Do all the good stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue videos from me. Follow me at twitter.com/RSMario128. Like my video, tweet, share my video, tweet, and I will shout you out at this portion of the video. All right, so I'm gonna go over the good and the bad of Hazard. All right, just tell you about basically what's going on with it. So if you don't know Hazard, he is the brand new tank in Overwatch 2. He is a hybrid tank. So he is kind of a dive tank, like say a Doomfist or Winston, you know, but he also can, like, you know, he has like sustain, like can contest, like say a different tank, like, well, like a Winston. You know what I'm saying? Really, he plays closer to Winston than he does Doomfist. All right, he's got the 4-second leap. He's got the wall, which is kind of like a May wall that you shoot out. But the May wall actually, the wall actually boops people, so it damages and pushes people away.
Tossed out a wall. I'm reaching.
Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. I mean, he also has the guard, which the guard actually damages people. And of course, he has the ultimate that hits everybody and kind of roots them in place. It's an area denial / you know, crowd control ultimate, which is basically a tank ult, you know. And he plays in a variety of different ways, you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't have the damage of a Doomfist, so he's not going in and just deleting things, because again, he doesn't have the damage. The leap doesn't do that much damage. You know, his primary fire does not do that much damage, but he can do the things that he needs to do. Like, his engagements, you kind of have to plan them out a little bit. All right, you can't just die, because if you dive in just like, you know, 5v1, you're gonna die. Like, you're gonna die like pretty quick, even with the guard, because the guard does 75% damage reduction, but it doesn't feel like a lot. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, because you can go out there, you can put the guard out, and you can still die to things. You know, the guard is best to, you know, to try to push to take space, than it is to really try to protect you from like dying. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you're like, use the guard the same way you would use Sigma Grasp, but be aware that you're still going to get damaged. Sometimes you would use Grasp to egress on a target. You know what I'm saying? Like, you use Sigma Grasp mainly as an escape tool, so you would pop Grasp while you're backing up as Sigma. That's the same way it would do for the guard for Hazard. You know, one of the best ways to use it would be to use the guard to do the damage and then dive, leap, melee somebody and kill them. That I've done that a lot. Like, that actually is a pretty cool combo for him. All right, because the guard does pretty good damage. That's probably one of the things that they're gonna nerf. The wall is a cool ability that can help you in a bunch of different ways. Like you can either use the wall to like deny somebody escape, like somebody tries to get out, and you do the maid thing by putting the wall behind them, and that wall will push them into you, and it makes you easier for you to kill them. You can juggle people on the wall, so the wall will push the people into you. Then you can leap melee them, which pushes them back into the wall. So it's like you can do that. But one of the biggest things with the wall is it gives you sustain. So you can actually use the wall to take space. So one method I found that works pretty good with him is you leap in and you melee the thing, right? You strike, you slash the thing, and so then that makes them back up. And when they back up, then you take the space by using your guard, you drop the wall, and that takes space allows your team to move up with you, hopefully, because sometimes they'll just watch you die. I've had that happen to me before. Hopefully they'll move up with you to occupy that space that you just took with the wall. Other times you can use the wall as cover so that you don't get pushed out. Like say, they're hard pushing you. You drop the wall and you operate from behind the wall as cover. That's another thing you can do with it. But the coolest thing you can do is use the wall for verticality. Because, his wall climb is kind of a vault than a wall climb. Like, he can't fully climb walls. But if you put your wall on a wall and then you vault on it, it allows you to stand on it to where you can jump and then do this process again. So that allows you to get to like higher places that you can't really just climb to. All of this just makes him an incredibly fun character to play. All right, like he's super fun to play. Now the downsides are he is kind of like Doomfist. Now for me personally, I'm not much of a Doomfist player. Like I know, like if somebody asked me to play Doom, I know the gist of how to play Doom. I'm just not a good Doomfist player. Like if I gotta play a dive, let me play Winston. Let me play Diva. All right, don't ask me to play Doom. Okay, I'm just saying, and a lot of people have compared him to Doomfist, and kinda, especially with the shotgun and the guard, but he plays more like Winston though, because the dive is on a 4-second cooldown, just like Winston dive. So I found myself kind of cycling it like I would do a Winston dive, so you dive in, you go for the thing, you try to get the kill, you get the kill, and then by the time that 4 seconds is up, you ready to hop back out and repeat this process. And that's how I play Winston. So you can do the same thing with him. You know what I'm saying? Just again, you don't have the range or the damage that Winston does. And you don't really have a bubble like Winston does. You have a wall. So those are the things you have to remember. Of course, he does not play good against certain tanks and characters, particularly 3 in particular. Malga, he gets run over by Malga. Okay, Malga, he out damages him, he out sustains him. You get run over. The only thing you can really do is like if the Malga charges in, you can try to trade. So if the Malga charges in, you can try to go in and kill his squishies. So, because again, Malga has his own sustain, but he still needs healing and stuff to stay alive. Like Malga needs his Kiriko in order to be able to cleanse him and all. If she dies because you dove her, then that's less that he can be able to do. But trying to 1v1 Malga is not a good idea. As this, you are gonna get diffed. You're gonna get diffed. Same thing goes for Orisa. Orisa hard diffs Hazard. Alright? Hard diffs. Because for one, Orisa has the range to hit him before he can get to her. 2, Orisa has so many buttons she can press to screw him over. Like if Hazard tries to dive and onto something else, she could javelin him out of position. She could spinny spear and push him out of position. If he tries to dive and then take space using his wall, the spinny spear can eat the wall because the wall is a projectile and it can be eaten by DM, grasp, Sigma grasp, spinny spear. It can be eaten by any of those things. So I wonder, can it be reflected? That's a good question. Can the hazard wall be deflected by, say, a Genji? That's a good question. I don't know. but yeah, you know what I'm saying? So she can do that. And she can counter his ultimate. Alright, because the Fortify just counters the ultimate. Like, so if she gets rooted, she can just Fortify out.
NANI?
Yeah, that's a thing. Alright, that happened. Alright, we lost that. We lost that match, bro. Yo, she hard diffs him. And another character that might hard diff him is Sigma. Now the thing is, I didn't see any Sigmas when I was playing throughout the last couple of days. Alright, which is kind of sad because Sigma's my boy. Sigma's actually really good. I didn't see any Sigmas, so I didn't have a chance to gauge how effective he would be against the Sigma. But just knowing Sigma's kit by playing him for so long, he could definitely diff Hazard because he does have the range. Alright. He does have the grasp that can eat the wall, that can eat all his damage. He has the shield that can block off his ultimate. The grasp can eat his ultimate. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't hard diff Sigma as much as Orisa does, because if you catch Sigma without his shield and his grasp and you ult him that way, he can't do anything about it. You know, he's just gonna get hit with the ultimate. But, you know, a good Sigma player is rarely without his shield. So, I'm just saying. But, yeah, he gets diffed by these characters. Other anti-dive characters also screw him over. Stuff like turrets, you know, freaking Cassidy. You know, nobody wants to dive into a Cassidy nade. You know, nobody wants to dive into the fan the hammer, roll fan the hammer bull crap. Nobody wants to dive into that garbage. But other than that, though, I think he's good. Like, now, his ultimate, I think is really good. Okay, because it's a perfect tank ult because it's like area denies. It does damage. It doesn't do a great deal of damage, but it does enough damage to where you can capitalize off of it, kind of like a shatter. You know what I'm saying? It roots people in place so they can't move. So you're going to be able to get some kills. Rarely are you going to do the ultimate and not get kills off of it. Or you could just combo with somebody else. You know, if you're in communication with, you know, with your team, which that doesn't really happen in Overwatch, you can use his ultimate and then say, you know, Dragon Strike into it. Or, you know, if you got like a Reaper on your team, you know what I'm saying? You know, the Reaper can just go there and just, you know, pop a ult and just Death Blossom and kill everybody, you know. There are options. All right, you got options with his ultimate, and his ultimate hits through walls, floors, and everything. I think this is a massive deal because you can't really hide from it. All right, because it can hit you through a wall. Like, check this out. We won this fight. Now, we got diffed a lot because, like, the enemy was playing, like, Malga, and for some reason they switched to Diva. I can't even remember why, because I don't think we had, like, a Pharah or nothing, but they switched to Diva out of nowhere, and I was like, oh, thank God. Because I was getting diffed. All right? I was getting diffed. I was like, bruh, I'm trying to learn this hero. Can you please stop murdering me, please? I was like that orc. You know, the one orc in Shadows of Mordor where like instead of killing him, he keeps disgracing this orc, and the orc is just like he's just like broken, like please just kill me, bruh. It was like that getting diffed by Malgo, but he switched to Diva for whatever reason, but he didn't eat my ultimate, so I just sat behind the wall and just waited till the cart came up, popped the ultimate, caught most of them, went out there, had my fun. I killed like 3 people. So yeah, man. Hazard is awesome. If there's any changes they're gonna do to him, more than likely they're probably gonna nerf his the guard, because it does do a lot of damage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally one of his damage options, one of his best damage options, because the primary fire is good, but it's a shotgun, and so armor kind of screws over shotguns nowadays. So, you know, your best bet for damage is the guard, or comboing it with other things. So if, like, say you dive in and you shotgun something and then you guard until you get your dive back, you can dive and melee and kill things. Like, it's fun. All right, he's fun, okay? Hopefully they don't screw him up. He's probably the most balanced character we've had since Juno. The last 2 characters have been the most balanced characters at launch in Overwatch 2. So, it is what it is. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real.